Here is something that will shock you if you are in the market to buy a boat. The most transparent yacht brokers in the country are now telling their clients to hold off on buying the boat until they found somewhere to put it. That sounds backwards, right? You'd think find the boat, then the slip. Well, not anymore. Access to the water is being repriced in real time. And if you don't understand what's happening at the marina before you commit to a purchase, you may buy the perfect boat and have nowhere to put it. So let me show you exactly what's going on, because some of the most important trends in marinas and berthage are often hidden behind paywalls. And someone needs to be completely honest here and warn you before you make a big mistake. I'm Marilyn Bosser with Current Yachts. We broker boats for a living, which means we don't just help buyers and sellers transact. Part of keeping a good pulse on the market also requires that we carefully watch trends with marinas and berthage. Who's getting denied a slip? Whose liveaboard dreams just got crushed, and what berth and storage actually cost. Today, I'm going to walk you through the three forces squeezing boat owners right now in plain language, because most people only find out about them after they've already committed. The big one, the force underneath all of this, I call the slip squeeze. Understand it before you buy, and you'll make a far smarter decision than the next buyer buying on impulse, then struggling to put the rest of the ownership pieces together. Let's start with some interesting math. There are around 30,000 marinas on the planet, and yet boat owners from Florida to New Zealand are reporting they can't find a slip. How does that happen? The fleet got bigger, and the boats got bigger. Marinas are recutting their docks to fit larger vessels, and every time they do, they lose room for the smaller boats. So the space didn't just get more expensive, it started disappearing. Here is the part that really tells the story. Florida leads the nation with 1.2 million registered boats. You'd assume marinas are multiplying to keep up. They're not. The number of marinas in Florida actually dropped 6.5% between 2018 and 2023. In Fort Lauderdale, one industry group estimates there are 7 boats for every slip. 7. Hurricane Ian took out marinas on the southwest coast that still aren't fully back. And as one marine engineer with 40 years in the business put it, the easy sites are already built. What's left is hard to permit, expensive, and slow. Now you're probably thinking, okay, I'll just pay more. And you can. But let's be honest about the numbers. In San Diego, you're looking at $16 to $20 a foot. So a 38-foot boat runs $1,000 to $1,200 a month before the liveaboard fee. Florida runs $12 to $18 a foot. And if you're dreaming about a catamaran, brace yourself. Cat slips cost 1.5 to 2 times that of a monohull, purely because of the beam. Dockage alone eats 20 to 40% of a typical cruising budget. That's before you've spent $1 on the actual boat. But rising prices aren't even the most important part of this story, because the reason they're rising just changed, and this is where it gets tricky. Marinas used to be sleepy family businesses. Today, they're one of the hottest real estate plays in the country. And there's a specific moment it turned. In 2018, the IRS ruled that income from floating docks counts as real estate income for a REIT, a real estate investment trust. That one tax decision opened the floodgates. Suntex became the industry's first marina REIT. Then Sun Communities spent over $3 billion buying more than 100 marinas, including the market leader, Safe Harbor. And last year, Blackstone bought those Safe Harbor assets in a $5.6 billion deal. There's the tell. 5 years ago, there were fewer than 10 groups trying to roll up marinas. Today, there are 35 to 40. This is not a rumor. It's the biggest consolidation in the history of the industry, and it's still accelerating. Just weeks ago, Port 32 and Acme merged into a 4,000 slip platform stretching across the East and Gulf coasts, including right here in Annapolis. Now, I'm not going to tell you big money is the big villain here. Institutional owners often bring better docks, better technology, stronger storm protection. But the trade is real. When a marina becomes a financial asset, every slip becomes a revenue slot. And they start optimizing for the customer who pays the most and complains the least. If this video is already useful, do me a favor and hit the like button. Breaking this stuff down so you can buy smarter is exactly what we do here every week. So back to it. This next part is where it gets personal. When a slip becomes a revenue slot, marinas start quietly filtering who gets in. And the filter a lot of owners are running into is boat age. There's no law anywhere that says your boat has to be under 30 years old. Nothing on the books. But talk to enough owners and you hear the same story. They walk into the marina office with an older boat and they get a polite, "We're not accepting vessels like that." Let me tell you something. It was never really about age. Age is just a shortcut. What the marina is actually filtering for is risk and money. Older boats, statistically, bring more electrical issues, more fuel system problems, the occasional surprise sinking that turns a quiet marina into a floating insurance claim. Instead of inspecting every boat, they use age as a blunt instrument, and the money side reinforces it. A newer, bigger boat usually means an owner who doesn't blink at a 4-figure monthly bill. The result is what I call the two-dock world. On one side, the polished resort marina, pristine, curated, expensive. On the other, the working marina, tools out on the dock, older boats, people actually fixing and using them. Those two worlds used to overlap, but they're now pulling apart. And this connects to something we see on the brokerage side every single day. As a boat ages, your options narrow in more ways than one. Financing gets harder. Many marine lenders won't touch a boat over 20 years old, and plenty go cash only past that. Insurance availability narrows too, especially in a hurricane zone, so an older boat isn't a bad choice. Some of them are spectacular value, but you have to walk in knowing the slip, the loan, and the insurance policy are all quietly looking at that build year, which is exactly why you line up dockage, financing, and insurance at the same time you schedule your pre-purchase survey, not after you close on the boat. Now, I know some of you have no plans to stay tethered to a marina. You're probably thinking, I'll anchor out or a liveaboard on the cheap. I have to be straight with you, that door is closing too. Last year, Florida passed a law limiting boaters in the largest counties to 30 days anchored in one spot within any 6 months window. In the Keys, you have to move every 90 days. Miami Beach went further and made it hard for liveaboards to even reach shore, banning dinghies at a public boat launch with a $1,000 fine for leaving one behind. Officials point to real problems: derelict boats, pollution, abandoned vessels, but responsible owners are getting swept up in the same net. And here is where it all connects back to the slip squeeze. The official answer, just move into a marina or a mooring field instead, run straight into the shortage. When the Miami Herald called around, Crandon Park Marina had a 6-year wait for a 30-foot slip. Matheson Hammock had a wait list of over 480 people, with one applicant waiting since 2012. Mooring fields cap the size of boat they'll take and they'll fill up. So the affordable, off-grid version of boating, the version that drew a lot of people to the water in the first place, is getting regulated and priced out at the same time. This is the part where working with people who watch this market actually matters. At Current Yachts, before we ever talk about a specific boat, we talk about where you'll keep it, what it will cost to insure, and whether the ownership math works for how you actually want to use it. And if you want to go deeper on the cost of ownership or the owner-operator side, we cover these topics with industry experts and with real cruisers on our podcast called Full Displacement. New episodes every week, and the link is in the description. So what do you actually do with all of this? Here is the advice we give any buyer today. Find your slip, your mooring, or your storage before you commit to the boat, not after. In the tightest markets, brokers are handing clients that exact advice, and now you know why. 3 rules go with it. Rule number 1, budget dockage honestly. Expect your slip to cost 20 to 40% of your running cost, plus the beam premium if you're going wide with a catamaran. And remember the 10% rule? Plan on roughly 10% of the boat's value per year in maintenance alone. The water doesn't care about your optimism. Rule number 2, match your boat to the available slips. If the resort marinas near you are filtering by age, you have 2 options left. Plan for a boat that clears their bar, or find the working marina where nobody asks what year it is. As long as it floats, it's maintained, and you pay on time. Both are fine. Going in blind is not an option. Rule number 3, don't improvise living aboard. If you're even considering living aboard, tell your insurer. Live aboard status has to be disclosed. If it isn't, your coverage can be voided right when you need it in a claim. And check the local anchoring rules before you fall in love with a lifestyle that a county commission may be about to regulate. None of this is meant to scare you off the water. Buying a boat and getting immersed in the boating community is still one of the best decisions I've ever made. But we're also aware of plenty of situations where boat owners got in way over their head and got stuck on a multi-year waitlist. They lacked the information that would have saved them a lot of heartaches and expense. And I certainly don't want this for you. The water is being repriced, and the buyers who understand that before they sign are the ones who end up relaxed at the dock. Since you took the time to watch this video until the end, I know you care about this matter deeply, and I would love for you to share your personal experience with us. Tell me in the comments, how is the slip situation where you boat? What's the cost per foot where you live, and have you been turned away at a marina before, and why? When you're ready to buy or sell and you want someone who'll tell you the truth about the whole picture, not just the boat, you can count on Current Yachts. And if you're considering buying your very first yacht, you'll want to watch this video next. I'll see you there.